Hey, Black community, Alandis Dion here, also known as Alandis Thompson. I just want to first and foremost thank you for viewing the second episode of Black Code TV, entitled Episode 18, P.L.S. with Raynard. So, if you don't know who Raynard is a counselor, also known as Raynard Meridith. He comes from the Detroit area, and in this episode, we'll get to see how he uses positivity, love, and safety regarding his words for his clients, for himself, and again, for simply just overall progression of trying times that he has gone through in his life. Also, you get to see how I use positivity, love, and safety regarding myself and words of affirmation in this episode. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for your time. This is the Black Code, and continue to be a beautiful soul. Black Code community, Black Code community. Surprise, 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 surprise. Look, here we are, here we are, here we are. We visual. Look, we live, baby. We live. So, as a surprise again, another episode coming to you guys. I wanted to show you what we've been working on behind the scenes, and here we are. Now we have an audio visual platform. We're looking forward to YouTube, all right? We ready. So for today's guest, we have a phenomenal individual, the man himself, the counselor, the guru guy, if you want to say, my brother, my frat brother at that, Mr. Raynard. As the ladies say, it's just Raynard. It's just Raynard.
It's just Raynard.
Yes. So again, you guys, please, follow him at the end of the show. We'll get into all that. But Raynard, frat, mom, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I cannot complain. I'm super excited to be on the Black Code.
Yes, sir.
So I appreciate you having me here. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm just excited.
Got you. So, as I said, this man's profession or his gifting, if you could say, is counseling. You know what I'm saying? So, speaking on that, what type of counseling do you do, like as of right now, every day?
Right. So for me, what they would say that I do is I counsel from an eclectic approach. So I utilize like a bunch of different theories and evidence-based practices within my approaches to counseling, but specific. So things like cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy, EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. It's a way of dealing with trauma. But I work with adults. For most of my clientele is all men from the ages of like 21 up to about 55 or 56. And I also do couples. I work with the ladies as well, our queens out here. And I would say about 99% of my clientele is African American.
Okay, I got that. I like that. Out here helping the community in more ways than one. From a mental standpoint. Okay, all right. Look, we like that.
Yes, sir.
Myself again being a very big advocate for mental health in all platforms. From digital to face to face. Like you probably do here and there. Cause look, COVID back up.
Yes, sir.
Back up.
You know what I'm saying?
Back up and everything like that.
Put that mask on.
Most definitely. But yeah, okay, all right, cool. So that's his job title, you know what I'm saying? Everything like that, in case you guys want to know. But we ain't come here to talk about work. We came here to talk about you, right? All right. So as I mentioned, this gentleman right here is my frat brother, part of the greatest fraternity on the God green earth, which is Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. You know. It'll act like you know if you don't know. So
absolutely,
that journey for you, when did that complete? Like, what was your crossing year and everything like that?
Oh, for me, I'm fairly new to the organization. Okay. I crossed 12, 8, 19, 5, 36, 36. So December 8th.
I like that.
So yes, sir. December 8th, 2019, I crossed into New Alpha Sigma Metro Detroit chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated.
Shout out to the D.
Shout out to the D. That's what's up. And it has been an amazing journey. Like one of the best decisions I've made in my life. I have not one regret about joining my organization. Our organization. I love it.
All right, there you go. Like I said, like you know. So myself, if you guys do not know by now, I am a Spring 20 initiate, Gamma Rho, again, at like you know, at the Elizabeth City State University, right there. Look, graduates. We do big things around here. Graduates, scholars.
Absolutely.
Most definitely. But okay, all right, got you. So, what got you into the profession that you're in now?
Absolutely. So for me, I actually kind of like fell into the profession. So when I first went away to college, I started my journey with a bachelor's degree at Michigan State University. I actually went away to school to become an attorney. I was like, I'm gonna be a corporate attorney. I'm going, and it didn't work out. So I changed my major a couple of times, and before I knew it, I looked up and it was second semester junior year, and I said, "Oh, my time is running out. I got to pick something."
Look,
It's like, hey, you ain't your family ain't millionaires, man. You got to pick something and get up out of here. And so I was like, well, what do I have the most credits in? I was like, psychology. I was like, well, that's what we're gonna do. Did psychology, and got out, and really couldn't find like a job with a bachelor's degree in psychology. And so I was like, well, I did have a itch to be like to work with like families, to help families like bond together. So I said, well, a master's degree, it's only 2 years. Let's do it. Let's go.
Come on, Doc. Come on, most definitely. I'm working on my master's degree right now.
Oh, for real? What are you getting your master's in?
Leadership or organization leadership.
Okay. Yeah. So for me,
we see you 22.
So for me, real quick, I did my master's at Oakland University. I started working with teenagers, and once I got finished there, I was doing like home-based therapy as with the juvenile justice system all over Metro Detroit, or not Metro Detroit, but all over Wayne County, which is the Detroit area, doing counseling for teenagers who are on probation, and then transitioned to do testing and assessments. And I got burned out, and I was like, well, let me go back and figure out what it is that I really wanted to do. So I was thinking about going back to law school. And then a friend called me and said, can you counsel my son? He is in dire need of counseling. And she was like, I'll pay you out of pocket. I was like, well, I'm not really doing no counseling right now. I'm actually about to leave the field. And she was like, just come on. And I finally did it. And from there, it was like, that was my first private practice client. And then word of mouth, spread it. And then within a year, I launched out onto my own private practice. So now I'm full-time, self-employed as a mental health clinician right here in the city of Detroit, Michigan.
Hey man, look, if you in Detroit, get your mind right. Get your mind right. Man. I gotta get back right. I like it. Shout to Lecrae. But okay, I like that. I like that. That's what's up. That's beautiful. So what would you say would be the most enjoyable part of your profession?
For me, it is to be able to connect with people that are coming in, and we already know that when they come in, they are at a high level of distress. And so being able to connect with them, to let our people and just anybody, let them know that they're not alone in their struggle, that, that it is not uncommon for them to experience the things that they experience. And then by the end of the time that they are, meeting with me, to see them walking around with like weight off of their shoulders, to feel like that they can make it throughout their life, to feel that they are, that they've accomplished something, that they can ultimately, that their happiness has become tangible and not something that's like far off in the distance, that, oh, happiness is on TV, or happiness is, when I get this, that they can walk out those doors and know that their happiness is in their hands, that their happiness is when they decide their happiness happens.
Okay, I like that. He's a little wordsmith. The happiness happens. Okay, you see, he got little bars. He might have little bars.
I'm trying to, what up, Craig?
Can we say multi-talented? Okay,
yes,
all right. That's what's up. That's good. That's good. Well, since that is the happiest or most enjoyable part, what would you say would be the most difficult? Because we're not going to say, again, I'm a big believer in word of affirmation or power of words. So we're not going to say the most, forbearing, but the most developmental portion of your job.
For what I've experienced as being like one of the most difficult parts is really helping people to understand the connection that they have and the power, helping them to be accountable for their life and the things that have happened in their life. So I would say when you have a person who is struggling with accountability, they're so used to, blaming the external factors on why they are the way that they are or why their life situations are happening, but helping them to absolutely helping them to see that that's a big portion of that is about how you think, how you see the world, and just making that shift from them blaming the outside to them being able to be accountable for their inside. That's one of the hardest things to do. But also too, it's just really, as a therapist, it's just hard to like see somebody that that they are in great pain and they're suffering, and just to kind of like sit there with them and sit there through it. Because most of the time what we try to do is we try to rush through our pain. We try to say, okay, that hurt, but I'm a boss, ain't nothing gonna fade me, I'm good, I'm getting back to my money now. And it's like, slow down, don't rush, because the lessons that you need to learn are gonna come through your pain.
Come on.
And if you never sit with that pain, then you never learn the lesson, and you're just gonna keep repeating that same pain over and over again. So helping them to sit in that pain.
Come on, now that's confirmation. Now, because again, last year, I put out a message in there, in the universe. It was called PPT, which is Purpose, Peace, Test. And basically, what I was saying, in that was that again, with every, test that you have, there's a purpose.
Yes.
Simple as that. Whether you can see it, whether you don't feel like it's the best, or simply you don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? But once you, get to that test and the purpose, you have peace. Because again, now you understand what the test was for. So for you to say that, it's like, okay, it look a little more substance under that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
that's most definitely. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where we say purpose in the pain.
Absolutely,
purpose in the pain. I like that. I like that. I like that most definitely. That's what's up. So outside of the lovely impact that you're having, in your profession, what is some things that Mr. Meridith likes to do himself? You know what I'm saying? On the weekend, we going to the gym, working out, playing ball.
Yes,
what we doing, boss? What we doing, boss?
So for me, I am recently I've been spending a lot of time with Frat and Soror. So we've been having a lot of time out here since the pandemic is starting to lighten up. Getting it in out there, yes sir. And then, but individually, I really spend time refueling myself, pouring back into myself. So whether it's spiritually, connecting with the Word of God, mentally sharpening my counseling skills by watching YouTube videos, doing trainings and things of that nature, and then physically, I'm doing exercises, working out, trying to get to the gym, putting that weight up, well, a little bit of weight, just a little bit of weight up there. I ain't on your level yet out here in these streets. Yes, sir.
Hey, man.
And then watching movies too. I love, yes, sir. I see the guns. I see them. They coming in there. They out there. Gonna rip the shirt. Don't rip the shirt.
Hey, I like it. I like you saying about movies. He's a movie buff.
Yes, I'm a movie buff. I can pretty much. I always tell people, don't come to me for a in-depth judgment of a movie, because I'm the type of person that I can find enjoyment in any movie. Any movie I can find. It's got to be like absolutely. I can't even say absolutely trash, because I sat here and watched all 3 of the Sharknadoes. You ever seen that? All 3.
Not Sharknado.
All 3 of them. Watched them multiple times.
Not trash.
Like, yes, watch those. I can watch any movie, from action to spoof, drama, comedy, horror. I can just sit and watch movies, and that's kind of like my vice right there.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Okay, yes, all right. You got a little well-rounded. You know what I'm saying? What I didn't hear was cooking though. You know cooking, boss?
The thing with the cooking is I actually can cook, but because of my schedule, I never have time to do it. And so, and I don't know when I cook, I put love in it. I don't like to be rushed. So I be like, I'm gonna leave that to somebody else to do. Because when I do it, yes, sir, mix it in, little seasoning, little pepper. Got my little spice rack with all 25, 30 spices on there. You know, I can get it in. I'm actually about to invest in a grill, a new grill, and a smoker once I get my backyard together. Yep.
Okay. All right.
I'm actually in the process. I'm getting into some gardening too, getting my yard and planting flowers and seeds and all that type of stuff so that my house looks really nice and presentable when folks come over. It's getting there. It ain't there yet.
He, he try, hey, look, he's trying to be on HGTV.
You know what
man.
I'm saying? Trying to.
He's trying to be on HGTV.
The whole channel. Like, hey, I'm trying to be out here with a mansion, but a counselor with the budget of what is that? They'd be like $2 million. Like, how, Sway? How? How was your budget that high? What you do?
Not the counselor with drip. Look, that's the new
counselor with drip. Yes, sir. That's me out here. I'm joking, y'all. I'm joking.
He said, "Look, I should gotta be professional."
Absolutely.
So, as you probably do know, and for those watching who may not know, this month is pretty special. A lot of big things happening this month in the world or the social field. First and foremost, as you are looking at 2000 years, Juneteenth is coming up, and everything like that. But also a newly, just say highly anticipated celebration for this month is also the introduction to me, at least, of Pride Month. So, two big things, two big communities and everything like that. So my question to you is regarding Juneteenth. What was your introduction to that? Was that something that you thought out in school, after school?
So for me, I actually didn't find out about Juneteenth. I didn't find out about it as a actual holiday until maybe like 4 years ago. Like, so really, but I've always known that Black independence, of course, happened much later. Hundreds of years later after the United States independence, but it was never really celebrated. But I knew about it. So for me, when it actually came time to actually celebrate it, my first time celebrating it was probably maybe 2 years ago. We got to. Like my family, we did a little cookout, and some of the friends, we did some cookouts. But last year, actually, no, it was 2 years ago we did the big celebration, because it was like we had frat, soror, picnic, all that type of stuff, food. It was crazy. Last year we had to kind of because of the pandemic lay low, but had T-shirts, and it was all over all over my Instagram and everything. Really got into it. Did some did history searches and stuff. So it's only really been recent that I've gotten really into it, because we really don't get the honor and the pleasure of learning about that in school. It's just like grazed over like a brief chapter in a textbook. Yeah,
like this,
right off the top. It ain't even a chapter. It's like 3 pages that they talk about it, and then they go on about their business.
It's true. That's true. It's true. Look, that's why I should go. Look, that's why I should go to HBCU, and they're gonna let you know. They're gonna let you know.
If I could do it, I wanted to do an HBCU for grad school, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna go ahead and stay here in Michigan.
Michigan. Nah, I feel you. That's what's up, though. Okay, for me, I can answer my own question. I found out. I've always heard about it when I was younger. My parents have again been big advocates of not only knowing my own, culture's history, but understanding the context in these events. And I'm grateful for that. And a lot of people don't get that. So I've always heard about it when I was younger, but I didn't really, I guess you say, personally go into in depth with it until probably again like about 5 or 6 years ago. So like beginning of high school, saying everything like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, and a lot of people like, what you got to find? I'm like, hey,
you found out. That's all that matters. You found out.
Look, hit the Snoop Dogg. At least
Exactly.
I'm here, you know. But at least I'm here. But so yeah, that was my introduction to it, briefly and everything like that. And
Yes.
I'm happy for it. It's definitely something that should not only be celebrated, month
Hmm.
after month. I feel like decade after decade, century after century. Most definitely, and it's
Yeah.
up to individuals like you and I to
Yeah.
keep that going on. So, got you. I
Yes,
got
sir.
you. I got you. I got you. Now, moving on to Pride Month and everything like that. First and foremost to that community in
Hmm.
particular, congratulations. We happy
Absolutely.
for y'all. You know what I'm
No
saying?
hate,
No
all
hate around
love.
here. No hate around here. You know what I'm saying? You look, you do
Mhm.
what you do, and that be that. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to, well, let me ask you first. Have you ever had any patients
Oh,
from that
absolutely.
community in particular
Absolutely.
before?
It is, I have
Okay.
clients that are gay, straight, transgender. I have clients, that are considering having, the sexual, I can never think of the name of it. The sex change they're having.
Change.
Don't kill me,
Got
community, because I didn't say the actual the reassignment surgery,
We're not worried
sexual
about look.
reassignment surgery. Yes, yeah.
We're not worried about cancel culture,
But
buddy.
yeah,
I
my
feel you.
clientele are, yeah, it's diverse, super diverse. I deal with I also, counsel a lot of men who are on what they refer to as the DL, or really closeted or private about their sexuality too. And so I work with, all populations, and they all, seem to get some relief. Well, not some, but a lot of relief based upon the things that we go through and talk about within our sessions. So, yeah, absolutely.
Awesome, awesome. So, would you say that again, your services could be beneficial to both communities, even at like the simplest level, like from something that's like,
Absolutely.
yo, I'm not comfortable with this to like, yo, I need
Absolutely.
help.
Yeah,
That
the service is, for anybody. The One of the things, and see, this is the thing that a lot of people don't realize when it comes to counseling, is that when it comes to counseling, the most beneficial part of it is the relationship that you develop with your therapist. Is because if you don't
mm,
have a good relationship with somebody, you're not really going to be in tune with the things that they're telling you, the revelations that they're bringing to the forefront,
come on now.
the things that they're seeing within patterns, and you're really not going to be receptive to them holding you accountable for, the things that you are, that you're saying that you want to do and not do, and the things that you want that you're not doing, whether it's things that you're doing that you don't want to do. If you don't have a good relationship with them, they're not going to be receptive to it. And so we always, even from grad school, the first thing that they would say is the first thing you want to do is make sure you develop a working relationship with your client, a trusting relationship with your client, because if you don't have that relationship, there is no buy-in. So, just that alone,
Mm,
so many people out here in this world just feel alone, and so for them to be able to come to a place knowing that they get a unbiased ear to listen to them, a judgment-free zone, and just to have that relationship that, by law we can't tell your business to nobody else, so you can say whatever you want, within
hmm
certain confinements. You can say whatever you want and it's going to stay right there. So I'm pretty much like I tell people, I'm the perfect brother, the perfect family member you can share, and you ain't got to worry about it going to your aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, or nothing. It's just going to be right there. Yep.
it'd be like that. It'd be
Absolutely.
like that, most definitely. Okay, okay, got you, got you. That's what's up. That's what's up, most definitely. Cool. So, we talked about your profession, a little bit about your personal life and everything like that. Um, you know, as in like weekend hobbies and everything like that. But excuse me,
Is that all right?
outside, ooh, excuse me, outside of you being a counselor and things like that, what did inspire you
Hmm.
to be a lawyer
So from when
initially?
I was a kid, the field of law, I used to like to debate. I still do periodically like to debate, and history was my thing. I loved history, and so when I combined the two, I really wanted to utilize those two sets of skills to be able to help people that were, less fortunate, or that possibly made a mistake, or who were being wrongfully accused. And I also wanted to make some good money too. So, that's what drew me into the field of law. But I just really believe that the underlying tone was I really wanted to help people and support people, but I just felt that when I was going through the programs and everything like that, nothing really connected me to it. Like I felt no connection. But when I started exploring psychology, because I went from pre-law to business administration to then, yep, there you go. There you go.
Come on.
Then I was like, that ain't it. I was like, that ain't it either.
Business thing, bro.
So that ain't it. I was like, so we're gonna go to education. Education was like, I'm not about to be in nobody's classroom like that. And but when I did psychology really spoke to me. And that's what allowed me to like finish out that degree and just go into it. So the law, it was just that the love for the debate, the love for being able to help people who, got caught up in some stuff, but I really couldn't connect in there. And I just like to believe that, that was just like God moving me to the place where he really wanted me to be at. It's like, nah, I want you, use those skills, but I'm gonna have you to use them in a different way. Absolutely.
I feel that. And I can tell the authenticity in that answer.
Right.
Politically right.
Don't get them emails. You said this wrong.
It's all fine, man. Look, we keep it, authentic and real and here at the Black Women. Okay, all right. So, you got the inspiration, behind the motivation that he gives you. As a counselor, you step in the car, you like, hey, how you doing? Let's talk. But let's start. So, again, as a counselor, what mindset do you, I would say, use on a common practice to, again, help you prepare or at least have that gentle spirit, if you want to say,
for me, of course, prayer. I always, try to keep myself covered in prayer and, keep a clear mind, just really meditating. So the first thing is going to be prayer meditation. The second thing is I actually do like a mental scan of my body and of my thinking to make sure that I am separating any and every all of my personal issues from their personal issues, because you can absolutely have clients who will trigger you, have you thinking about some of your past traumas, and you'll have people that'll come into your office that'll remind you of people from your personal life, and you'll have that transference. And so you have to be mindful of like what you've been through, what you're going through currently, to be like, okay, yep, set this aside, and to also be aware that what I think is right may not necessarily be right for them. What gets them to their level of right, and what gets them to their level of comfort and their level of peace, because what gives me peace may not give them peace. And so just separating I do that. I separate myself from them. And then also too, I just kind of on the technical side, I just kind of like look through some notes, review what did we talk about the last time, and think about what can I do to kind of like hone in on the things that I wanted them to walk away with. So kind of having like a plan for them for that session. But those are the three things that I do.
Okay.
Top three.
The top three things.
Right.
We got listed 20, but we need 3. Nah, I feel that. That's what's up. Though. So outside of, again, the dream aspiration to be a lawyer and then turn, counselor, what were other dreams or aspirations that you may have had, growing up, or either while you was, in grad school and everything like that?
Right.
Hey, I think I might have hit another switch.
Well, growing up as a kid, before I wanted to be anything, I was going to be a paleontologist. I loved dinosaurs, dinosaur bones, all that. I was the kid that was at the dinosaur museums and all that type of stuff. Even into my adulthood, I still love dinosaurs. But I know there's no way I would ever go and be a paleontologist at this point in my life. But I used to be really into music. I played the saxophone for about 12 years, and I like to sing. So music and things that like writing music, writing songs, that has always been something that I've always been interested in. So that's kind of another little thing that I do. I don't do it like on the side, as in like I would like sing at a bar or clubs or anywhere, but I do like practice here in my house, or if I when churches were open, I did try to sing some choirs or praise and worship teams, things like that. So yeah, music. I like music a lot.
Okay.
Right.
Look, get your mind right
Sunday,
Monday through Saturday.
absolutely,
You come praise
absolutely,
God with me on Sunday. I
absolutely.
like it.
Yes, sir.
I like it. I like it. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm not too much of an instrument man myself. I'm getting there. I love the keys.
Okay.
Most definitely the
All
organ.
right, we might have to come
we
together
can
on
do
a few
some things.
things.
We're working on that. Most definitely collab. So, last question is, as we wrap up, sadly, the show for this evening, everything like that. What would be again your biggest challenge that you have faced thus far in your life overall? Whether that's your profession, personal, and again, what type of behavior?
Well, I would say one of the biggest obstacles that I've had to overcome was the so many wrapped up into there. I'm gonna make it small. I'm gonna compact it. I would say knowing my worth.
Okay.
I'm still working on that, but one of the biggest obstacles is really just like the knowing of my worth, romantically as well as professionally. To be able to believe in myself enough to leave a full time job to start my and go into my own business. Like I struggled with that, so much, thinking like this is a mistake. I'm making a fool of myself. Like this is gonna flop. Dealing with those negative self talk, and really having to challenge them, and just understanding that when I have that negative self talk, or those negative core beliefs, having to ask myself, what is the evidence that my failure is going to happen? There is no evidence.
I like that. Hold up. I like that. That might be the title. Look, that might be this episode 11. Where's the evidence?
No. I think that's one of the things I
Sorry.
really teach, especially when it comes to like anxiety. We have this negative self dialogue and internal dialogue that gets in the way of us accomplishing goals, and really trying to do the things that is going to bring satisfaction in our life. And then the other thing is like people don't realize that one, the negative dialogue that we have on the inside really was never created for you to stop you. It was created for you to protect yourself. So you think about every negative thing that anytime you try to plan to do something, and anytime that you want to do something for yourself, the thing is always, well, you're not good enough, or what if this happens? What if that happens? Those thoughts are really trying to motivate you to problem solve. Because let's say if I'm trying to go into, I'm want to be an engineer. If I'm thinking the thought of, I'm not smart enough to be an engineer, I'm not smart enough to be an engineer, really it's trying to motivate you to, what do you got to do to get smart enough? What do you got to do? You gotta do something there. But we oftentimes stop at the negative thought and say, well, it's not meant for me to do it. No, it's meant for you to do it. It's just meant for you to figure out what I have to do so that I can be qualified to do it. And so really battling those things of understanding my negative self-talk, and then to know that a lot of times when you have negative self-talk, the things that you're saying negatively about yourself is not actually your voice. Those things are really coming from past voices that you have internalized as your own voice.
Come on now. He in there. He took out the source and showing. I've been waiting for this. I'm weak.
I'll just add, just knowing that those voices are coming from somewhere else, and once you identify, whose voice that is or what that voice is coming from, to begin to deactivate it and say, like, again, what is the evidence? What's going on that I choose to believe that thought about myself? And I hear so many people say, well, my negative thoughts really motivate me. And so I go through an exercise with them. And I was like, I'm willing to bet by the end of this exercise, you will know that you can motivate yourself without using the negative self-talk. And when they learn that, they're like, oh my gosh, there's no reason to call myself stupid. There's no reason to, to say that I'm unattractive. There's no reason to say that I'm fat, nobody wants me. Because you don't have to use that language. Your voice is only going to speak to you with positivity, love, and safety. Any voice that's on the inside of you that is not positivity, love, and safety, that's not your voice. That's not your voice. Mm-hmm.
Positivity, love, and safety. I like that.
P.L.S. P.L.S. Absolutely.
P.L.S. 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 We're gonna put it on the shirt. Look, put it on the shirt.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Come here. Slide over to the
left. What's that?
That's
what's up. Awesome. So, like, to add to that, something that I do personally is something that I heard in TED Talk actually, and it's simply, again, going back to the thought. The first, it's like two questions you have to say. So the first one is this thought useful in this moment?
Mm-hmm.
Is it useful in this moment? Before I say anything, do anything action-wise, this thought I have up here, is it useful in this moment? And if it is useful, or even if it's not useful, the second question is, okay, what is the behavior I'm going to give to these thoughts? This perspective, this action. And most of the time, when I have done that, recently as last year, I realized, one, he's not a liar. It lowers the stress, most definitely. And then three, it gives me a firm foundation to, again, address the situation in the best way possible. Not saying it's going to be perfect, because we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But it gives a soft answer, which turns away wrath, like it says in the Bible. So, yeah, most definitely. I like that. P.L.S. That's the way right there. Really, that's the way. I like that. Well, that's that. I like that.
That's you.
We gotta put that on the screen.
You coined it. You coined it. You made it work.
I like that.
Exclusive.
Hey, you heard it here first at the Black exclusive. Nah, most definitely. But last thing that I do ask any guest that I have on this show is, again, please leave us with a word of wisdom, whatever it may be. We want to give you that time to, again, give one last gem. For those in the back,
let me think. One last gem for the people that are just coming in. I would say to note, here we go. There's this belief that we are our worst enemy, that we are our biggest critic. And that is furthest from the truth. One, because our voice only speaks to us with positivity, love, and safety. So if my voice speaks to me in that, then how am I my biggest critic? So consequently, that means that I'm actually my biggest supporter. I am actually my biggest lover. I am actually my biggest encouragement, my best teammate. I am my own Michael Jordan. I am my own LeBron James to myself. So, when I began to think like that, that gave me the encouragement and the motivation to stop being discouraged when I didn't get support from this person, that person, whoever it may be, because, and it's no disrespect to those people who don't support. It's not saying, well, you're going to miss out and none of that, because that comes from a negative place. It's just to say, you don't support me. That does not mean that I can't move forward. That doesn't mean that this dream can't move forward, because I am my biggest supporter. You are your biggest supporter. You are not your worst critic. You are your biggest encouragement. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah.
P.L.S.
Oh, yeah. Look, P.L.S. Nah, let me stop. That was I know y'all just heard that. If you need to rewind it back, write it down. Haley, I like that most definitely, most definitely. So, with that being said, first and foremost, we do thank you for again taking time out to have this interview with us, and again, drop the gems. You keep dropping bars, man. So much I gotta pick them up. I gotta pick them up, put them in the bag. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely. But again, you can definitely follow, our guests and everything at Raynard the Counselor. Go on Instagram
There we go.
right now. Stop.
We back.
Pause episode. Okay, come back. Look, we back and look at Raynard the Counselor is his Instagram and everything like that. And that will also be in our description box for the episode. First visual and audio episode, matter of fact, with Mr. Raynard and everything like that. So go ahead, give him a follow on Instagram. He'll definitely again bless your life. At least give you some encouragement and again not impact you in a mighty way. He'll give you a little drip. Look, the counselor with the drip. The counselor with the drip. Counselor with the drip. You know what I'm saying? So give him a follow. Again, guys, please do know that we are on at the Black Photo. To again stay updated with the show regarding everything. From our TikTok, we got a TikTok, to Instagram, Facebook coming, YouTube coming. Listen, guys, please give us a follow. And we can come back with more interviews like this, you know what I'm saying? But thank you most definitely for taking out your time and doing the thing.
Okay. I'll be back.
Hey, we appreciate you, man.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
He'll be back. He'll be back. He'll be back. He'll be back most definitely. But appreciate you. Thank you so much. And hey, if you're in the Detroit area, man, it's time to get your mind right. You know what I mean? Raynard the Counselor.
I love it.
The Counselor. Most definitely. But thank you so much, man. Again, we will hear from
congratulations.
Now that again we have made it here, Black Folk Community. We are audio and visual.
I love it.
Peter,
the master plan out here.
Dan is the man with the master plan. Yeah, baby. Most definitely. But thank you so much, and
P.L.S.
Black Folk Community.
It's the way.
Love, joy, peace. P.L.S. It's the way.
Next time.
P.L.S. Most definitely. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time, Black Folk Community. Next time.